Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of the Worthy intel. And in today's video guys, we're going to primarily cover a very easy loot cave and glitch that you can do. You have sort of a limited amount of time left to get in on this fully, but it will be available into the future, as well as some other things that are swirling around in the Destiny 2 community regarding leaks and possible future DLCs. Gonna get to all that information in just one second, but first, I just want to remind everybody, I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel at 20,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell, right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box below. And as always guys, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember guys, those secret hashtags, they stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright guys, so let's get the loot cave over with first. This is going to be the Deathly Tremors adventure. For those of you who don't know, the Deathly Tremors has been around for quite a while, ever since Mars was released, obviously. And this loot cave does become more available and more efficient when the weekly flashpoint is, of course, Mars. Now, this adventure can be available other times, so you can always take advantage of this if it is available on any character that you might be on. And if it's not available on that character, simply switch over to another character and check, because this really is a very efficient farm. Simply go to the end where you get the Ogre, and because this is an adventure boss, it does drop Prime as well as possible exotics, though it might be rare, but I was able to get quite a few rewards. I would say I got at least one Engram drop, maybe just a blue, but a blue and up every second kill. So every second time I would kill the Ogre, I would get a drop. I had at least 3 Prime Engrams as well as some legendaries and some blues. Wasn't fortunate enough to get an exotic on this run, but this really is a very efficient way of farming out gear if you have very little left to do on a character for a week. And if you're like me at the moment, Destiny is a little bit dry as far as things to do that are new, though there's always a lot to do at the beginning of every week. But when you get towards the end of the week, if you're not running a pit or doing a nightfall or a raid, things might get a little bit boring, so why not take advantage of a farm? To complete this farm completely, all you need to do is, after you kill the boss, of course, jump off the ledge. This is the glitch that will reset you right at the beginning of the encounter with the Ogre, thus allowing you to continually kill the Ogre over and over again and take full advantage of any rewards he may drop. As I've said, this farm has been around for a while, and I have covered it on this channel. But any week that this is the flashpoint, what I want to start doing into the future is, if there is a farm available on the weekend, or the week that there is a flashpoint, I want to get it to you by some point so that you at least know about it moving into the future if the flashpoint, once again, is that particular planet. Now, the reason the flashpoint is a little bit important when it becomes a farming method is because when it is the flashpoint planet that you can actually do a farm on in things like these adventures, the chances of getting a drop are just heightened slightly. If you do this mission on your own, or just when it's not the flashpoint, though you might be able to get a legendary here and there, the drop rate of primes is not quite as efficient. Another thing that you want to do is obviously do things like this when you haven't been playing for a while. So if you've gotten like a rested buff, maybe there's a character that you haven't played with a lot that week, drop in and use this character, because that'll improve your Prime Engram drop rate. Your well-rested buff will also allow you to get a higher chance of rewards. So that's going to be it as far as the farm goes for this video. And now I'm just going to talk kind of loosely about some Destiny 2 DLC news. Now, there was some leaks that are going around on the internet as far as a possible Destiny 3 expansion, or was to be Destiny 3 expansion that has now been turned into something else possibly. I never personally thought there was going to be a Destiny 3, even if Bungie's separation from Activision was profitable for them, which I do believe it has been. I never really thought that Destiny 3 was a great way to go as far as content in the future. I actually never really thought Destiny 2 was a great way to go as a expansion or a content for the future when Destiny 1 was out. I never really thought of Destiny as a 1, 2, 3 kind of game. I thought of it more as like a World of Warcraft, where there was just continuous expansions and you would get different variations on a theme and ultimately add to the world. It wouldn't be a less of a new game, it would be a better game. And you could just continually pull stuff forward into the future that you've done in the past with you. So when Destiny 2 came out, I was a little bit surprised that it was actually a whole new game with a whole new storyline, seeing as how we really hadn't fleshed out a lot of the story in Destiny 1, but I ultimately thought Destiny 2 would close most of those gaps. It didn't. We've actually gotten a lot more questions than we've had other ones answered, though since Bungie did leave Activision, it does seem as though they've made a really big push to try to complete or round out most of these storylines. Now that being said, I don't think, again, to reiterate, that Destiny 3 is where this game is going. I think that might have been scrapped as soon as they left Activision. I actually think that Bungie ultimately wanted to do the thing that I have suggested, was continually add to a world. You get expansions, some bigger, some seasonal size, but ultimately that would make the game the whole world that it was, carrying out story arcs as well as gameplay, and it would be just a more interactive experience. I was a guy who played a lot of Halo, and I would fall in love with different Halos. Some I liked more than others, but I never played Halo necessarily for the storyline so much as I played it for the immersive world that it was. I liked a lot of Halo lore, but I never really cared so much for whether or not we were focusing on this aspect of Master Chief's adventure versus that aspect of Master Chief's adventure. I just wanted to know where we were and what all the things in this world were doing, their storylines, the bigger arc, not just the characters. When Destiny came out, that was really what I thought the game was going to be. Now, before I digress any further into why I think Destiny 3 is not going to happen, there has been a couple of things leaked that sort of add a little bit of light to what we could be getting if we didn't got a Destiny 3. Now, this involves a lot of like old pictures that we've seen from when Destiny 1 was released as far as concept art, things like the planet Europa coming into the world. If you hadn't noticed, in the bunkers by the Warmind, or the Warmind bunkers exactly, they are these lights that have started to flash on the wall. I'm sure most people have noticed. The lights that were there previously to these new lights that started flashing outlined all the planets in Russian. And now we can see at the edge of what would be our solar system a couple of new lights in the shape of pyramids, which we can assume is the pyramid arsenal or the pyramid armada of whatever alien race, which, no spoilers, there is a new alien race apparently coming to the game. That's, again, one of the things in this leak. I'll cover that more in a second, but in back to looking at the wall, what we can really see is that not only are there these pyramid ships, but there's other parts on the wall that are not lit up. So we can assume that those will be other places that we might visit in the near future. As I said, Europa, a planet of Jupiter, was always kind of assumed to be part of the gameplay at some point. Though it has currently not been added to the sandbox at all, it is something that I think if they were to bring in an entirely new planet, would probably go there, simply because they already have some semblance of work done on it. But they obviously have not always stuck to their previous game plans, so that might be fairly speculative. But beyond that, we do see a couple of other things. Planets, maybe a Kuiper Belt, and there was, I think, a lore piece somewhere in the Grimoire referencing a character actually having gone to the Kuiper Belt. The name of that character escapes me at the moment. But that could also be another place that we visit. Maybe just another reef type area. Who knows? Another thing that we have now seen leaked is the confirmation of a new alien race, as I said just a minute ago, called the Veil. Now, the Veil is going to be essentially the darkness in body. The darkness always being sort of this nebulous thing that we never really know. Is it an alien race? Is it a force? What is it? So apparently there will be an actual race of aliens called the Veil, which will be the physical embodiment of whatever the darkness is. Now, maybe the darkness is actually leading the Veil, or maybe the darkness is the Veil itself. We can also assume and basically confirm that if the Veil is the alien race that we will come in contact with in the future, they will undoubtedly be whatever the pyramid ships are bringing aboard. So whatever the pyramid ships are, we can kind of assume that is the Veil. Now, these are very interesting story arcs, ones that I truly want to see completely rounded out. We obviously have a pyramid ship now on the moon that for some reason Eris Morn, who is a sort of hive offensive character, or at least based, her whole axe to grind being that with the hive, having some weird reaction to the Vex, or excuse me, to the pyramid ships, which in my opinion have always sort of resembled a Vex. So maybe there's some weird amalgamation of these two races that will ultimately be the Veil. But that's sheerly speculative. Another thing is we have seen a piece of concept art that kind of showed 3 Guardians venturing into what looks like a pyramid ship and coming across this weird idol that has 4 sort of standing statues and a giant, what looks like a sort of dark version of the Traveler perched upon all 3, or held up by all 3. We also have seen a ball sort of similar to this at the end of the Shadowkeep mission. The tower behind this ball in that mission also is very resemblant of the ones that we see in this particular screenshot. So we can also assume that maybe whatever this creature or whatever these race is might be using the darkness in the same way that we use the light. And another leak, to kind of round out this entire rant, is that we will apparently be getting new subclasses, darkness subclasses. So, if you kind of put all these things together, what I think we're starting to kind of hone in on is that whatever these race of creatures are, they will be using the darkness sort of in the same way that we are using the light, and that will kind of be the culmination of what I think is Destiny 2. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a Destiny 3. So that's going to be it for the information in today's video, guys. Hopefully this farm will help you out. Remember, get in on it now before tomorrow's reset. But always there for future times. Hopefully the leaks and this rant you found enjoyable and informational. And for today's secret hashtag, if you leave hashtag new DLC or hashtag pyramid ship or hashtag season of the worthy, any of those down in the comment section, I'll enter you into that giveaway a second time for this video at 20,000 subscribers. And as always, guys, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you in the next video.